Good evening, afternoon, morning, wherever you guys are. Continue on with Ingrid stuff. Today's gonna be a little bit short. I'm a bit tired. I got things to do, so I'll be here. Probably do an hour or so. Alrighty. So since I haven't still figured it out, unfortunately I can't record and stream at the same time. I said that last time, so I did a little bit of recording, and I'm gonna probably do a little bit of editing this and show you some of the actually a few new cool stuff I found. Mostly setups though. So here, I also actually fix this too. Oops. Does it work? Yeah, it does work. So you can actually see parts of it. Actually, it's probably easier to show. So a few more setups that I found off stream. So I was debating on what to do on okizeme for a lot of these things. So for something like this, I wanted something with more than lights is probably the easiest for the convenience, because you can hit confirm a lot easier. But if you want to go for damage, also for shimmy setup, so that's probably one of the things I've looked for. Here, sorry, my words are not coming out of my mouth very well. Alright, so for example, so this is the meaty heavy kick setup. +0 on block, which actually not bad, but I think the biggest part is usually when you're on hit, you can only combo to a light. So something like, depending on the distance, you could do something like that. 2180 is probably, yeah, without meter is probably the best we're gonna get. But with the meaty setup, not only is it not negative, oops. You get +6 frames, which means you could go to medium. So oops. It takes some practice, oops. So you could do something like that. So, well, actually the damage actually doesn't change. Oh, because we're not getting the full hit of it. It's still more damage. You get a little bit more meter, obviously, because lights versus medium, different. Also, it helps with scaling. Connecting with medium is definitely scales a little bit better. And you can't, obviously, you can't combo into stuff like this. So, oh, music might be a little bit too loud. right. Okay, my voice might be a little bit low too. Let me move my mic. So that's one option. It's not plus on block though, so that's one thing. And it does keep it fairly close, so you could actually shimmy afterwards, which is kind of nice, I think. Give me a second here. Let's check. Okay, you can't shimmy. Oh, sorry. You know what? Actually, you know this. I've been labbing quite a lot in terms of finding different solutions. I'm getting messed up. I do have a shimmy set up for a different one. Sorry, but this one, anyways, this one will net you a lot of damage if it hits 0 on block. So you could at least smash and trade with opponents who think they have an advantage. But yeah, like I said, you can't combo into this, but you can combo into stuff like this. So it definitely opens up if you have meter and stonks with this setup, if it hits, like I said. And the other one, let's see. Oh yeah, this is the shimmy setup. Give me a sec here. So like I talked about a lot of how a lot of her moves push her back a little bit. And one of it's crouching medium kick, which sends you into a natural like shimmy state. You could use this as well, and also back medium kick also can be used a little bit. You're still in throw range, but the thing is, if you time it right, you could walk back. So I'm gonna use this for this setup. Oops. This gives you +2 on block. Although at this base, there's Ingrid's lights not the greatest, so +2 doesn't net you too much, especially because even if you get a counter hit with a light, the medium punch won't reach in most situations. So it really depends on what the opponent's doing, if they're standing or crouching, and what kind of buttons they have and what kind of buttons they are pressing. So this is all based on character matchup. So I'm not going to go too deep on this because all I can say is I don't know too much at the current moment, but it gives you +2, but looked a bit far is. However, on hit, this is where it gets a little bit special. Get a really meaty hit that gives you +9. And that allows you to combo into stuff like standing medium kick. What one was this? Yeah, standing medium kick, which is cancelable, so you can do stuff like this, which is nice. And so there's two things. I talked about this before, or we found out on the first stream. Crouching medium punch on hit gives +6, but it pushes back so much that the 6th frame standing medium punch does not reach. However, this 9 frame magical number give me a second here. There he goes. if you get that +9 frame perfect hit, a meaty hit, it'll actually, I don't know what the deal with is. Maybe because it's hitting on the very last few frames. I'm actually not sure. I gotta turn on the hitbox or boxer, but it doesn't push back as much, and you could combo into standing medium punch. And this will depend on the combo. I think this will help with meterless because medium kick does do a little bit more damage than standing medium punch, but without meter. Oops, actually pretty tight. Oops, you can get into the target combo, which is the important part. If I can actually move my hands, yeah, I could do stuff like this, which should give you extra damage compared to, you know what, let's check, make sure. So that's 2480. Right, 2260. So I think in certain setups, like if you're using OD, beam, and stalks and stuff like that, going single hit instead of target combo is probably better because this actually it does 600, 700 surprisingly. But anyways, it might depend. I don't know exactly how the scaling works with like the more longer combos because I haven't really loved it, but I think this is certainly pretty big damage if you can hit it right. And the nice thing about this is that because this medium kick, back medium kick, it pushes slightly away, and it has enough frame advantage that it could actually shimmy the situation. So this is like pretty good mid meaty button setup. Here, let's get that shimmy. We'll do throw on wake up. So you could do stuff like this, but you could walk, if they're mashing 4 frame, you could also throw in a throw by walking forward a little bit and throw. So this is, I think this is pretty good setup. You get a really good meaty. That's plus on block. Spacing, only problem is spacing, but for follow-ups on block, but still. Might be able to find some spacing traps with certain characters and whatnot, so I think you just have to lab character specific stuff, but pretty strong. Shimmy, meaty, potential for pretty big damage. Like triple medium, so those are the new things. Alrighty. And I've kind of been looking, now that I found this sequence, I've been kind of looking for it for multiple situations. Although this is a lot to tank, I gotta say though. But the crazy part is you could kind of find a situation for a lot of these. Right. So you got the counter throw, meaty throw setup, shimmy. Really good stuff. And I think I made a mistake here. Oops. Yeah, I did make a mistake. The funny thing is, so in English, in the English speaking FGC, we use a few Japanese words, right? Like okizeme, abare, and stuff like that. But it's very rare for the English stuff going to the Japanese side. But recently, Japanese people have been starting to use the word shimmy a lot, and it's becoming a very like wide, just normal thing in the Japanese FGC. Like you'll watch like Street Fighter League or something like that, and they'll be talking. They'll be just the commentators will say shimmy shimmy. It's weird seeing that go back. I mean, there is a word for it in Japanese. It's called nagenuke sasoi, but it's just kind of long in terms of there's a lot of syllables. And Japanese people, we really love to shorten stuff. Mostly 3 to 4 syllables is generally what we aim for. And it just sounds so weird sometimes. It's weird because as an English person, there's a lot of English does get shortened, I have to say. If shimmy was longer, like longer word with more syllables, then they would definitely be shortened as well. You know what the funny thing about all this is that I haven't. So I don't know if any of you noticed. I usually tend to label the numbers. You know how I'll say lights number 2-1 or 0-1 or something of that sort. I have. It's more of a recent thing. Recent few combo videos I started doing something like that. The first number is related to the drive meter. So if the combo is using 0, then it'll be 0-1, 2, 3, 4. If it's using 2, then it'll be 2-1. If it's using 3, it'll be 3-1. I'm actually surprised nobody. I don't know if people. I never explained it, but nobody questioned it, so I just kept going with it. But that's generally what it is. If you want to know why, if it's not like, if you're wondering why it's not like sequential order, and I'm like, it looks like I'm skipping numbers, but I'm not. Yeah, I think heavy kick will probably be the most. It's a heavy button. It's not plus, but it's not punishable. But I think it gets rid of a lot of. I actually haven't looked at how much drive meter it gets rid of. It is a heavy button. You know, that's what I want. That's the one thing I really like. Because we got all these numbers. Like, frame rate is great. Damage is great. I really want numbers of drive meter. Drive meter... Like, how much drive meter I'm deleting on hit is, I think, incredibly important. I want that in number format. And I also want how much meter I'm building. I want that in number as well. It actually looks like half. Half is pretty decent compared to like some like Collide, right? That's so even having this is really nice. Right. We're gonna get a 6 frame. It's not even plus. I didn't realize this was plus. So if you OD, you could plus. It's probably the only way you'll probably get plus frame while also being able to throw in throughout. So this is probably your, and you could shimmy this, right? I actually never thought about this. Talk about tangent. Oh, actually, is it interruptible? Oh, it's actually not interruptible unless you use okay, that's cool. And I guess, you know, if the opponent's doing a reversal, as long as it's not something that travels forward. Actually, I never really thought about this here. Let's see. Let's do. We could do stuff like this. 23. Yeah, I could do something like that. That's cool. Okay, so that's probably where the back down. I was thinking about it, like what's the usage of back teleport? Because her backdash is fairly fast compared to. Actually, now that I think about it, I don't know the like the average speed. Maybe it's be interesting to look through. Everybody's backdashes and see who has the fastest one. Like, she has a 23 total. I mean, distance matters too, obviously. But for example, Chun-Li's is actually 25. I think it goes farther though. Right, yeah, it does go definitely farther. Hers is really short, but it's 23 frames. So that, you know, stuff like that kind of changes a lot of things. So let's see. What does this work at? It's gonna hit her. Oh no, it doesn't. Oh, that's cool. How about this will hit right now? Yeah. But no, it gets caught. Oh, that sucks. I was hoping this would avoid it, but That's such a funny hit. But does it go behind her? Go behind her! Oh, okay. So I guess forward moving supers will catch the teleport in all sense. No, this not enough either. Wait. Oh, it still catches. Wow, that's a funny hit. 1500 damage and doesn't lock on. Oh, wait, how does... Did she combo off of this? Frame advantage 23. Probably not. Probably cool if you can. Alright. Talk about tangents. Alright, this is, I think, 40? Yeah, 40. Like, all the numbers are so big and it looks good, but it's just so much pushback. And even if the numbers are big, it just doesn't seem that great. Okay. I guess the nice thing about having really big frame advantage is that you get a lot of opportunities for, at least when you're in the corner, a lot of wasted frame kill. I think the only thing we're missing so far, at least from what we checked, are we only found like maybe one safe jump setup with aerial hits on her sunrise. Getting plenty of meaty overhead setups, but you know, I've been scouring social media for combos and whatnot. Oops. Let me do that. But everybody's only labbing like 4 or 5 stock combos with, you know. And it's funny because there's, and obviously those put out a lot of damage. And she surprisingly does a lot of damage on punish counter hits, like her 6 like forward heavy punch. And people are angry that it's like, why is she doing so much damage? Why is she doing 7,000 damage? Why is she doing Marisa level of damage? And I'm like, she's not gonna get 4 stocks that easily unless you either sacrifice at least everybody. She's getting away with a lot of stuff. Obviously, brand new character, 2 days in, nobody knows how to deal with her. So I'm like watching a few matches of like high level players, and like they're getting away with murder because everybody's back, like doing back recovery. I'm like, if all this. Every time she does like a forward throw or something like that, if you recover in place and she goes for a stock, that's a punish. So like as people get more knowledge on her, she's gonna have a harder time getting stocks. It's like Jamie, I think. So it's like I made that joke in the very beginning, saying, oh, she's gonna be like Jamie, gonna have a lot hard time getting stocks. Oh, hey, what's up, K-Town? Damn stuff. Yeah, I mean it's what it is, right? And I'm sitting here doing the most boring and like what I deem practical, right? I'm just doing the target combo and going, hey, does it hit? You know, just like what kind of okizeme can I get? Is it hit confirmable? And I'm sorry, I'm probably not doing something as interesting as, you know, all the other streamers with the 4 stock stuff, but, you know, I'm making a video, so. Yeah. I mean, the damage numbers don't change, so. It's not like Guilty Gear with Jumpkin or something like that. But yeah, like the 0 stock stuff, I feel I mean, she gets decent stuff, like everything. I'm really surprised her lights combo into her medium sunrise. But everything else requires a lot of stocks for it to have any significant damage. So it's one of those things where I feel like you have to like hit a few times or get, you know, like chase away people, let them come to you, counter hit them, sacrifice some damage to get the stocks, then use those stocks for the next big opening. So there's a caveat, I think, that people don't realize. But then again, I haven't played much, so I can't say. I'm just talking from the perspective of watching other people play. I won't know till I actually play. But in the current time, I think people would just kind of get away with murder with just throwing out projectiles and being annoying and tiring and stuff like that. There's a lot of knowledge checks like the teleport, but like so many people are mashing on block. I'm like, that's positive, buddy. Hope you're doing okay, Kato. I know a lot's been happening with you, but oh wait, the heck happened here? By the way, if you're still here, Kate, I got a question for you. Do you actually hear the music I'm playing? I'm playing Guilty Gear track, but I'm using a whole different program. I'm not even sure if certain things are working properly because I've been messing with so many different settings. Okay, here the birthday train. All right, the karaoke version. I'm gonna. Oh yeah, can I say one thing? I'm just gonna say not one thing. So many American speakers say karaoke. It's actually karaoke. It's always. I always have this urge of correcting people before I stop myself. It's not karaoke. It's karaoke. It's actually It's stupid though, because it's like English. Kara is fun. It's like kara cancel. You know, it's empty. Kara means empty, or there's one way to say empty. So kara cancel, right? Kara cancel. So that's Japanese as well. Empty cancel. So that's the same, but oke is actually short for orchestra. So it's empty orchestra. It's just that's the actual translation. It would be. It doesn't make much sense in terms of English, but it's like it's saying, in a way, kind of makes sense, but in a way it does not. At least from the perspective, it makes sense as a Japanese person, but it does not make sense as an English-speaking person. If you get my gist. I'm going to brains freeze when I'm talking about this. So yeah, it's karaoke. I've definitely wondered how native Japanese speakers think of English speakers' pronunciation of their words. It's whatever, right? I think if people are, I think any person who speaks a certain language getting mad at other people with the way they pronounce that are not native is just it's nonsense. Nobody's able to pronounce other languages perfectly, especially if they're not native. And sometimes it just travels that way, right? If people continue to pronounce it a certain way, even after being like corrected, then I start questioning that person per se. Like, for example, like Japanese people. I don't know if you know the incredibly famous Vietnamese food called pho. Noodle dish. So good. Delicious. If you've never tried it, go find a Vietnamese shop that cooks it the proper way. Delicious. Delicious noodle food. One of my favorite things out there. But I didn't know it was called... So Japanese people call it pho, because that's how it's spelled, right? P-H-O. I mean, if you ignore the, I guess, accent mark. But in college, I had a Vietnamese roommate, and he was like, it's pronounced pho. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna call it pho. And then ever since that day, I'm calling it pho, and I'm like, I'm like, I am the ambassador to be like, it's pronounced pho to everybody who says pho. So it's like that. It's like, people just don't know, right? I'm not gonna get mad at people saying karaoke. They just don't know. It's like people saying sake, right? It's suck it, right? But it's like sake. It's like, no, I mean, like, I'm not getting mad at that. I'll have the urge to correct. I mean, like, it's sake. Where did the I come from? Didn't you learn on Hooked on Phonics? Buff Ingrid, what's happening already, Aeon? Are you enjoying the character? I know you've been pretty hyped about her, or that's what it felt like when you were talking about the we were talking about it last week. Enjoying the character. PMP for you kill for. How should I do this? I'm probably a little bit too, what should I say, strict about everything, where I'm like even pondering which order I should do these combos. Oh my gosh, why does the shortcut do this? Oh my gosh, you're annoying. Like, you know, I'm really not gonna remember. Oh, I'm joking. Yeah, no, I assumed. I'm giving you that because I am such a boring person. I'm gonna give you that straight answer. I might had for a long time ago, probably when I went over to a friend's my house for his birthday. He and his family were Chinese Vietnamese. Oh, so you got like home cooked pho? That stuff takes a long time if done. I mean, well, at least I've never made it myself. But I want some cooking shows where they make it quote unquote proper way. It's like, oh, it's like a day or two's worth of work, get that clear broth, and I'm like, man, that's a lot of work. But yeah, I don't know how was it, but I've eaten a lot of pho in my life, so I could definitely recommend you some. There's a whole bunch in California. There's a huge Vietnamese population, so you'll probably could just look it up. But I highly recommend. Vietnamese food is great. Honestly, any food is great. You don't have, especially if there's like traditional stuff. I mean, it doesn't have to be traditional, but if that dish has been going on for centuries, it's gonna be damn good. You know what I mean? Things don't stick around for that long between like multiple generations and not be good. It's either that or it's gotta have some special effect like alcohol. It's like, I feel weird. Oh, jolly. We shall pass this tradition on. And I think alcohol is gonna go. It's gonna disappear in like 100, 200 years. People are too poor to afford it. I know, at least in the US, Gen Z's, Gen Alpha, not drinking alcohol at all, and I totally understand why. The Screen's Viper's actual name, I have no idea. I don't really look into the lore too much. I am not a lore person at all. At all. The only reason why I know certain lore is because I make videos. If I didn't make videos, I would not know anything about lore. I just know she's a mom. See, I haven't even played story or arcade mode. I'm sorry. I just never found like fighting game lore that interesting. I think the only one is probably Guilty Gear. I think that's probably the most interesting one out there. So I'm always interested in hearing people really talk about, like, especially I'll go to the Undernight Discord, not Discord, like Reddit and stuff like that, and people are always talking about buying the older games for story, and it just never occurred to me. But then again, I'm probably, you know, I might be the more rare. Gosh, this is, why does it do that? It's funny because I'll watch like other people like Dogura and stuff like that, and they always talk about story and character and stuff like that. So I think it really depends on the type of person. I mean, I'm saying really obvious stuff, but I think it's only Guilty Gear and Blade Blue that I know anything about lore. Yeah, Guilty Gear is definitely one of the more interesting ones. I looked up into Under Night and I got really confused, and I'm like, okay, I think I'm good. I think I won't understand any of this. is where I got. Oh my gosh, can you memorize the color? Yeah. Till this day, I'm still very confused about the whole thing with Under Night. It's like there's a different dimension or world. There's people fighting over the power, and I'm starting to get really confused over the factions because people leave, people come back, and the wiki makes no sense. Kind of reminds me, there's like a video, like an hour or 2 hour long video about some guy explaining the Guilty Gear lore, and I got really... Oh, speaking of Blade Blue lore, there's a YouTube channel called Sugar Punch, one of my favorite channels. They haven't been uploading lately, it's just making me really sad. But they had a video series called explaining stories of whatever game from memory poorly, and it's just, they had the whole series with Playboy, and I always got a good laugh because they're like kind of right but also wrong, but the thing is I don't know enough. So I'm like, I kind of vaguely remember that, but I don't know if it was right because it sounds too ridiculous. Be like, hey, this person married a cat, you know, kind of thing. It's like, wait a second. Wait a second. If you think about it, like if you just hear about Blade Blue story, it just sounds like you're making stuff up. Oh my gosh, it doesn't memorize colors. Oh god, so annoying. 92. Wait, why didn't it keep color? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh, this is so annoying. Well, I can't complain. It's free software. You know, till this day, I don't understand how software like this is free. Unless they're mining bitcoins in secret while I'm rendering videos. The only lore I really call him that Unius using Hyde has a falling out of some kind. Hyde blames himself for it, and while uses like whatever about it. She seems like a whatever type person, honestly, though. So you might be right on that. Free kill plus 4 frames. Yeah. What? Yep. Plus 6. Okay. I actually let me check this out because I don't remember if it actually is shimmyable. It should be shimmyable because it's plus 9. It would be weird if it wasn't. I'm actually still surprised this is actually not punishable. That is crazy to me. And it's not in throw range, right? You can walk. Wait, can you? Here, I actually don't know.
Ingrid.
Okay, okay, you can't walk back. Okay, okay. You gotta backdash something like that. Okay, makes sense. It should be. I was about to say. But it's -3 is kind of wild to me. Wait, shoot, what was it? Okay. Yeah, okay, yeah, obviously. Do I need to even... Okay, there it goes. You have to walk back. I just say this because standing light kick actually, even on whip, it pushes her back a little bit. So you see, like, you can see a little bit of pushback, right? It pushes her back a little bit because you can walk forward. Like, standing light punches, stuff like that doesn't happen, right? See, there's no space to move forward. A lot of her moves do that. It's very surprising. She really is, apparently. She wouldn't bother with the Hollow Knight or and whatnot if anybody else in her family was capable of dealing with it. I mean, I could understand that. If it sounds messy, if somebody else could do it, let them handle it. There's a I don't say proverb, we call it fork. I don't know how to, but there's words that are combined with 4 kanjis. We call it yomoji jigo, which is 4 character combined words. I actually don't know. You gotta understand like how Japanese language structure works to fully understand what I'm trying to say. But anyways, there's a word called tekizai tekisho. Tekizai is, I mean, whoever has a skill should be placed in wherever they can do, like, be effective the most, is what pretty much the meaning is. So it's like, if somebody can handle the Hollow Knight better than I can, they can do it. I don't need to be the hero kind of thing, and this makes sense to me. It's probably a smart way. We don't want people trying to be heroes, right? You know, this is probably the most bothersome section, is me trying to, like, when I'm making a Japanese version, I have to translate a lot of this, if you get what I'm trying to say. I want to run a script. I mean, like, running a script isn't too hard for making a script to translate certain words to Japanese or vice versa. It's not that hard, but the only problem is these are color coded, so I need to figure out how to apply color if I would do stuff like this. It would make the process a lot faster. Should probably look into coding something for this. Make it a little bit more automatic and easy, or I could just copy paste. Okay. It's 40, right? Plus 44. Oh my gosh. Can you keep the color? What would be a good word here? Okay, it's just there's ad break in progress. I'll probably ask afterwards. Limited distance? Limited? What? How would I do this? Oh yeah, here. Since ad break is over, I'm gonna ask you guys. So you know how it's the English is blanking out on me. You know how some combos and whatnot's gonna, or okizeme is gonna change based on how far the opponent is? What's a good word for that? Distance limited? Range limited? I'm blanking out right now. Cause I speak two languages. Like sometimes the Japanese would come out. Cause range specific. You're right. Range specific. Range specific. That sounds good. Cause the Japanese sometimes like the Japanese would pop out, and I'm like, that's perfect word. Like this is how Japanese people use it. Japanese come out, and the English just escapes me. Okay, good. Thank you. In Japanese, we call it Kyotigen. Hey, how's it going, Max Justice? Focal point? Is there something wrong? You know, I'm listening to the Guilty Gear Xrd soundtrack. Isn't this like the menu theme in Guilty Gear Strive? Did they reuse this? I think they did. No, I'm trying to find... Oh, focal point. The word I need, I'm talking about. I see. This is the tower theme. Yeah. This is a Guilty Gear Xrd album, so I was like, oh, I didn't know. Cause I was talking about this earlier. I don't play stories of fighting games at all. I actually don't play arcade mode or anything of that sort. Under Night in Birth has a whole gosh darn visual novel, and I've read like a chapter of it on stream. And I'm like, that's as far as I went. Oops. So when I hear some music that's not in, this is probably in the story, I think, in Xrd, because I haven't heard of it whenever I play. It was reused in Strive. Yeah, I mean, I think each character theme is brand new. I hope so. I think that's what they did. But for like the menu or story stuff, I'm assuming there was some reused stuff. I mean, why not? It's good. I don't think a game should always be like, we must have completely new. And I think the best when fighting games have a jukebox mode. Like Tekken had a jukebox mode in Tekken 7, which was really cool. Street Fighter 6 has, the only the problem is it's like paid, so it's like it doesn't come with it. I think Strive has, yeah, the old stuff too. Kind of wish Under Night had it, because Under Night, 99% of the new music is, I think, better. But man, I missed the menu music in the first game. Under Night in Birth 1 menu music. It's hard to have a better theme than that. At least for me. I mean, it's not about saving money. I mean, like, yeah, sure, saving money, but like music doesn't really like go bad. You know what I mean? I'm still listening to classical music that's a couple hundreds of years old. Still good to me, man. Still, I'll listen to Claire de Lune any day. That's probably one of my favorite pieces out there. I mean, who doesn't like Claire de Lune? I mean, bar a few people, but... You know what I mean? Yeah, yeah. Like, I don't really assume things, but yeah. Unity 2's character select theme is cool, but I still love the... Yeah, right? I'm not the only one, right? I feel like a lot of people would agree with that for me. With the Under Night and Birth 1, like, character select screen music. With the, like, the piano opening, or just, like... Well, I can't sing it, so I'm not gonna bother. You guys will never get a karaoke stream out of me. I bought a really nice mic, but it'll never be used for that. Wow. Okay, no, that was like a perfect. I. I'm always reminded how poorly Extra series sold and how the devs. I mean, here's the thing. I will forever say this about game devs, Japanese game devs, because most of the fighting game devs are, you know, they're fairly old, right? And they're probably gone through the arcade scene, you know, in the 90s, 2000s, where it was booming, right? Like, it was to a point. Like, well, I mean, I didn't live through it. I wasn't raised in Japan, so I'm only saying this off of other people's and my short visits there, where arcade machines were pretty much everywhere, right? You could find it in small shops. Every like street corner had one kind of levels of arcade machines. So having it was, what should I say? Automatic? What's the word? Man, Japanese is coming out. Atarimae. So I feel like a lot of devs are about, like, as long as you make a good game, like, people will play because it'll be in the arcades and people will know about it and people will talk about it, right? But once that arcade scene disappeared or got smaller, you know, you have to make an effort in terms of creating the community. You can't just make a game, right? You can't just advertise it to a certain, I mean, obviously marketing is ridiculously important. That's probably the most important thing, but for a game like this, it's about like, you have to build the community or else nobody's gonna play or come join. And like, it's not about difficulty. It was never about the difficulty. Like, there so many people talk about difficulty in fighting games, and like, and that's what bars people from playing it, and that's absolutely not true. That's not the reason, right? If that was the reason, then nobody would play sports. Nobody will play baseball. Have you ever tried baseball? That thing's difficult. Especially if you watch high-level players, are like, oh yeah, you don't play like, oh, you watch pro players be like, oh, they're hitting balls that are coming at you at 100+ kilometers per hour with a bat, with a stick that's the size of the ball, which would curve and move and stuff like that. Stuff is hard. I played baseball for about 15 years, so I know how, like, difficult that thing is. Most people can't even throw a ball, like, really well, right? It's not about the difficulty. It's about the only reason why I played it and I was good at it because I started out T-ball, you know, like little 5-year-old kid throwing out a ball, like not, you know, putting it on a tee and hitting it. And you started off there. There's a whole community, leagues around it. So it wasn't about how difficult it was. It was about a learning and growing process was really readily available. And that's what like fighting game developers need to like understand and create. Sorry, I get really passionate about this. And that's what it is. You can't just make a good game and be like, oh, I hope people play it anymore, right? Because there's no more arcades. And the only reason why Street Fighter 6 is so big is because the players are doing it for that company. This is what Capcom needs to be doing. This is what like Bandai Namco should be doing. It's just the community doing it for them. It's just like they're lucky because they have the community like just doing it for them, right? But it's like that should be in the game. That should be, there should be stuff that like I should, like in all honesty, I shouldn't be making tutorials. You know what I mean? The people, the devs should be making what I'm making. I mean, I'm glad I have a space for it, but sorry, I guess so passionate about this. Yeah, I like the style of the exterior, and it was nice seeing the G again after so long. Playing baseball was rough when I was younger. It's just the idea. But yeah, it's I think it's the biggest part is community building. Like I said, you know, that's probably why you see it incredibly popular in Japan. Street Fighter 6 is incredibly popular in Japan because the pro players built the community and pushed the community. It's not Capcom, you know. I mean, like obviously you may have to make a good game, and they made a good game, but Street Fighter 6 is really popular in Japan, but not as much elsewhere, is probably because like there wasn't that whole huge community of, you know, people hyping it up and building communities like the pro players, the VTubers, etc, etc. And you know, the only reason I like the reason why like it still like goes wrong in the West is people like, you know, like Seiya doing events, right? So it's like I said, it's about the people. The people who are making the beginner leagues, people who are like the content creators, the TOs and stuff like that. It's not about the difficulty of the game. It certainly is not. Because I'm gonna say humans are incredible. Humans are freaking incredible. They're able to accomplish a lot of like crazy things. And fighting game is one of them. Like being able to play fighting games is one of them. It's just, they just need steps. Sorry, I'm looking at two chat windows. I'm sorry. I used to love playing basketball, tennis, and soccer. Heck, everybody briefly played cricket because one of my teachers was. Ooh, that's cool, man. It's great when like people share stuff like that, and I especially respect people who participate. These games are exactly, yeah, of course, yeah. I think anything with like an extension is difficult. I think even like if it isn't even extension, like people say like soccer or football, depending on where you're from, is, you know, you're only kicking a ball, but like the base might be easy, but easier to understand and grasp. But once you add in the base is easier, I guess. Like, it's, I actually play soccer for about 15 years too, so I know how that sports goes as well. Baseball and soccer were my two main sports, besides like track and field as well. But if it were about the difficulty of the games, no one would play Dota or League. Yeah, that's true as well. It's not about the, yeah, like I said. I mean, was happy at the end of Street Fighter 5 that there was a change of hand of development. It was nice to see game flourish with a big community, and yeah, outside of Japan. Going to my first Evo. Sorry, I want to zoom in on this. Oh, I can. Cool. Going to my first Evo made me realize some people are just there to have their fun with fighting games and get most out of. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. It's like, if you're not a pro player or aspiring to be a pro player, it's about the community. Some good people out there, yeah. No, that's I think that's at the local level. You'll find a lot of good people. I was just fortunate enough to have the opportunity to do stuff. And like, now that I'm like a bit older, I'm not in leagues or anything like that. I do a lot of endurance stuff now, like long range bike, like a lot of running and biking, hiking and stuff like that. It's good to stay active, especially as you get older. I'll tell you that. And if you don't exercise, then I would recommend doing something, especially in the day and age where people just kind of sit and stare at a screen all day, right? For a lot of people. All right, I'm getting so distracted. Oh, backdash, 4 frame, DR time. Okay, 2LP. Oh, it's not a 2MP. I recorded too much, and I'm not remembering. Like, why did I record this? Why did I do this specific move? Yeah, it does. And a healthy body gives healthy mind, etc., etc. That and ergonomics, man. I also follow. I mean, games like StarCraft. I don't know if any of you guys play StarCraft. I don't play it. I haven't touched the game in like 10 years, but I like watching pro play. I am truly spectator sport for that game. But especially every time I watch Korean players, man, I'm just sitting there going like, get a wrist rest. Like, get a better position, you know? Man, no wonder like people are getting hand problems when they're like 22. I haven't played StarCraft in 16 years. Yeah, no, it's pretty niche unless if you're not in Korea. It's pretty much, or China, I guess. I wonder if China is still big on RTSs. It is incredibly interesting. I like it. I like RTSs. It's like both mechanical and strategy. I mean, I guess it's like fighting games too, right? It's both strategy and mechanical, but it's a little bit more strategy heavy, I guess I should say. But both are extremely technical and they're very fun to watch. Especially if you watch something like StarCraft 1. StarCraft 1 is so stupid, man, what the people do. Gosh. No, seriously, why does it do this? Surprisingly, if you follow the scene, StarCraft 1 has been making a huge comeback. Well, they already made a huge comeback, but it's still incredibly popular. That game was like 30 years old, man. Kind of reminds me of people playing like ST till this day. Street Fighter 2, like still watching Street Fighter 2 is still entertaining to watch. Street Fighter 2 is definitely like a fun game if you watch. I don't play per se, but anymore, but I love watching like really truly dedicated people playing it. If you guys ever get a chance, go watch Kimono Michi matches between they have like four different series. I think ST's been playing pretty much every Kimono Michi event. They've all delivered. Especially the last one. I wish there's more done. You know, I said I'm only doing an hour, and here I am already on the second hour. Okay, once I finish this, I'll just show the final. Call tonight. I don't even know what I'm doing here. What am I pressing? Light, crouching light kick. I was just pressing crouching light kick. Is that what's happening? Oh, I'm pressing crouching light kick twice. Okay. I don't think anybody's gonna. You know what? It's for documentation. I'm doubting anybody's gonna memorize or use this on like week 1, but. I just realized I didn't do the Japanese side. Ah, shoot. Ay, ay. Here, Japanese for range specific is kyori gang. Kyori is distance. Gang is short for gente, which means limited. The more you know. Alrighty. Here. Today's update. New setups for the lights. Overhead. Meaty heavy kick. Meaty throw and meaty medium punch, crouching medium punch. I think the crouching medium punch is probably going to be pretty decent. Shimmy. I'm actually really happy about finding that medium punch setup. I think that's probably going to be really good. Ugokemai. Am I going into too much detail with the frame data? You know, I mean, this is a full guide. I'll probably make something a little bit more understandable and more digestible, like beginner level stuff, after I play a little bit. Hey, what's up, Freely? Freely? Am I pronouncing that name correctly? How's it going? But by the way, a lot of it's slang, so it's not vocab you can use elsewhere. Just a heads up. Fighting game slangs are not really usable elsewhere. I mean, there's definitely words that you can use. There's common words, but there's definitely a lot of slang. That's why I hate automatic. I wish the Japanese YouTubers, fighting game YouTubers, would understand that they should probably remove the auto translation, but it's because it's only like really confusing. There's so much bad auto translation in those. All right, cool. Yeah, I haven't had too much time to live new stuff, but it is getting kind of... I do have a few things to take care of today, so I'm probably going to end it around here. But I think it's just nonsense name, but it's meant to be freely. Gotcha. Wait, does it come? Oh, really? I see. You know, I've been wondering. I mean, like I said, I'm gonna answer, but I've been watching a lot of other people in social media. I've been doing a lot of combos. I feel like this character is gonna be, if you truly want to optimize it, it's gonna be really difficult because, like, for example, if you don't have stock or if you don't want to use meter in this situation, like use more than 3 in the situation, this is what I realized. Oops. This is probably what you want, right? 2164. Oops. No. Sorry. I was getting. Oh, wait, does it work? Oh, it doesn't work. Oh my gosh. I didn't realize. Oh, so I do need that stock. All right, let me here. Let's here. So without, if you're not going to use stock, this is what you want to do, right? 2163. But if you don't do the target combo, you're losing a little bit of damage, right? You're losing about 100. So you want to do the target combo in the situation instead of no target. Oops. No target combo. But if you were to put in the beam, that's 2384 with the target combo. That's 2425 without the target combo. And it's like, man, the scaling makes this so freaking complicated. So, I'm assuming it'll change based on whether you do lights or not either, so. But anyways, I need a break, so I'll probably take a break tomorrow. I mean, I've noticed that as much as I have fun streaming, talking to you guys, I do concentrate a little bit better. So what I'll do again is record a whole bunch of stuff, explain some of it, and compose again, maybe on maybe Sunday or sometime. But I mean, for sure, if I don't come back on the weekend, I'll be back for Monday for sure. But yeah, really appreciate you guys keeping me company here. I'll have to look at Yeah, I will. But anyways, yeah, like I said, thanks for keeping company, Max Justice, Freely, Kato. I'm assuming Aeon's gone, but Aeon, I hope you guys have a good rest of the day, night, morning, wherever you guys are. Stay safe, and like I said, at latest, I'll be back Monday. Might be doing some other time, maybe one more day during this weekend. Alrighty, have a good one, guys. Bye-bye.